guys, and welcome to your weekly dose of tech, and you guessed it, some more tech. Now, every week, Hack and I try to come up with unique and exciting content to inspire you to become part of this amazing world.
I can't wait to show the squad what we've got planned for today.
Hack, do you know what steam is?
Do you mean like the water vapor or water in its gas state?
Hack, you're so smart. You're technically right, but I mean STEAM. Science, technology, engineering, maths, art, and mathematics. Today, we'll be exploring the A in STEAM. Let's take a look at today's lineup. First up, Amir and the squad head to the Sakhikamva Foundation. Then we test you with another tricky brain teaser. We meet creative genius Nathi Ngubane. And we get creative in the tech lab. Hack. Now, I know you read, but do robots ever read for fun?
I can't speak for all robots, Shanice, but I read mostly to learn about the world. What I do find interesting is reading about human stories to see how humans view the world.
Wow, Hack, that's pretty cool. Now, next up, Amir and the squad went to check out a project that uses building blocks to create stories about our world. Let's take a look.
Hey Techno Squad, today we're here to learn a thing or two about creativity and all of those other skills that we keep on hearing we need to be ready for the fourth industrial revolution. Let's go check it out.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Stream Lab. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that you are good. We've got an awesome lesson planned for you this morning.
Good afternoon. My name is Wasim, and I am a facilitator at the Sakhikamva Foundation. And today we are doing Lego and a story.
I've made different things Lego, like cars, characters, buildings, stuff like that.
I made shops, houses, and I made some libraries.
But today, learners, we're going to be using these very Legos to tell a story with a project called Lego and a Story.
Okay, so Lego and a Story started as an outreach, community outreach project for one of our robotics teams. How it started was we decided to let one of our robotics teams visit various primary schools in the areas, kind of expose them to Legos. So that's pretty much how it started. From there on out, we saw they responded to the project really nicely.
We all have memories of the multicolored building blocks. They've been around for 89 years. But even more impressive is that over time, we've learned that they have so much more to offer.
I'm building a rocket ship that's gonna head off into Mars.
So an aspect of Lego includes holding, right? So structural design. Okay, so that aspect of working with Legos obviously brings in an element of engineering, and then also to bring in the aspect of being creative with what we are doing.
I want you to structure your story, okay, by writing it, okay, and trying to structure it as you would usually read. Okay, so I'm going to hand each of you a blank piece of paper as well as a pen, okay? And I want you to go ahead and write your stories down. Is that okay with you? All the best. Here you go.
The aim of Lego and a Story is to let learners' imagination run freely. Ultimately, during these workshops, facilitators are ensuring that they are putting the A for art back in STEAM.
Since the project started, we've implemented Lego and a Story at about 12 schools, and we are hoping that within the new year we could do a whole lot more. Yeah?
And then it was time to literally build a story using blocks, a story in 3D.
So at the Lego and Story workshop, we had to build Legos, we had to build structures, and the structure that we built, it had to tell a story.
Here's the wolf, now he's howling into the moon. Ow, ow, ow.
Sometimes for a primary school student to just sit down and write a whole story is not the easiest thing in the world. So a lot of the time we need to be directly next to them and kind of ask them, okay, so what happens next once he's trapped in this room?
He's on the boat. Okay, and where are they off to?
That's what we're trying to do, is to expose our youngsters to things that they've never been exposed to.
Well guys, there you have it. Today I've learned a whole new way on how to build and create. Well, while I let my imagination run wild, why don't you guys head back to the studio?
Guys, that's incredible. I mean, I can remember playing with building blocks when I was a kid, but I didn't think about it that way. I love how they've taken something as simple and fun as building blocks and used it to help nurture our future-ready skills. Now, our next guest knows a thing or two about the world of stories and tech skills. He is a graphic designer, illustrator, culturalist, and author of the book series Duma Says. Let's welcome Nathi Ngubane. Nathi, our squad has some questions prepared for you, and our very first question is from Amir.
Okay, so can you please tell us about the Duma Says children's books and what made you decide to write them?
The Duma Says children's book series is an educational series geared at children from underprivileged backgrounds. So last year when the COVID-19 pandemic began, my good friend and publisher and I noticed that there weren't a lot of books, a lot of material talking about COVID-19 for kids. So we didn't only want to make a COVID-19 material book available, we also wanted to showcase representation and show diversity to the millions of children who are living in cramped housing, who are often forgotten. So we wanted to show what it's like and how they are surviving during COVID-19. So that is why Duma Says was born. And yeah, so now we have 4 books in the series.
Zahir, you can ask the next question.
What is so unique about the Duma Says books?
Duma Says is so unique in a sense that it tells the story of the pandemic through the eyes of a child. And Duma Says really helps remind all of us to not forget about these vulnerable kids and elders that are living in cramped housing.
Azra, you're up next.
Where can we find South African children? Where can we find the books? Where can we get it?
Okay, so if you're in Durban, you can find the books at a store called Ike's Books. If you're in Joburg, you can find the book at Ethnic Kids and Book Circle Capital in Melville. And if you're in Cape Town, you can find the books in the Book Lounge. But the books are also available for free in the sacoronavirus.co.za government website. So the first 3 stories are available there for free as well.
Nathi, thanks so much. What you've done with the book series is incredible, and I'm sure the squad has lots more questions. We'll be catching up with Nathi and the squad later. It's time for one of your favorite parts of the show, the Brain Teaser. In today's Brain Teaser, we're asking you to solve a picture puzzle. I love these because it's like using picture clues to solve your sums. Let's see if you can get it right. In today's Brain Teaser, we've got 4 picture equations. In equation 1, 2 and 3, we've already done the work by solving the equation and giving you the answers. But what we've also done is given the clues that you need to solve the final equation. To solve this week's Brain Teaser, you need to solve the final equation by completing the missing number. If you think you have the right answer, then send it to our WhatsApp line, or you can enter on Facebook or Instagram. Remember, only the first correct answer will be accepted as the winner. And you can win an awesome data bundle. So, get entering! Welcome back to it. You're still hanging out with me, Shanice.
And me.
Now, we're still looking at art and creativity and how it influences science and technology. Now, we've been focusing on storytelling today, but art in STEM includes visual arts, fine arts, music, physical arts. Basically, it's about using your creativity and imagination.
Art actually helps to increase the development of STEM's essential skills, as well as enhance flexibility, adaptability, productivity, responsibility, and innovation. All require skills for a successful career in any field of study.
Exactly, Hack. I think it's time for us to check back in with the squad.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I was really into building blocks back in the day. I mean, I could really stack a tower. And I was also into video games too. But now the squad says that they want me to come up with a story. And you guys know me. I'm always up for a challenge. Let's give it a go.
Sometimes it's better to show a story than to actually write it or tell it. And the building blocks are a great way to express the children's ideas and creativity.
We built our story out of the Legos, but we first had to build the Legos and then tell the story. And then after that, we had to go back in the classroom with 3 other learners, and we had to tell our story to everyone.
I didn't really enjoy the writing part because you had to really put your mind to it and really think of details that are in your characters and the names. So you had to really think of it, and that was a bit hard for me.
Okay, so class, today the first person we're going to hear from is none other than Zahir. Zahir, let's hear your story.
Okay, so my story is about a man named Bob. He was trapped in a science facility and he was working with some stuff, and then one day his chemicals spilled out and turned him into a werewolf. Okay, so this is Bob, and here's his cabinet, and this is the chemical that spilled out and turned him into a werewolf. I created a story about a scientist who was in prison because the police locked him up. So he had to build some chemicals for the police. So then one day he was building his science experiment and the chemicals formed and it turned him into a mutated werewolf.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. Well done, Zahir.
Sometimes writing is not the easiest thing for you as a child to do. A Lego and a story provides you with the opportunity that instead of having to write it, maybe you're a visual representation of the story you're trying to let us know of is stronger than what you would have written it. So I think not necessarily even Lego and a story, just being able to implement these kind of projects in our schools is absolutely crucial.
One day, a little girl named Jane was walking home from school when she passes 5 stores to get on her way home.
Some of the squad members came up with quite elaborate stories, and they had added details like names and places too.
After a while, Jeffrey started turning green and he started to shrink because of all the different weathers. So now if you go into space and you see little green men, now it's Jeffrey. The story that I wrote didn't match the ones that I made with blocks 100%, but I think majority of the stuff that I wrote made sense.
I would encourage other children to make stories out of Legos because it helps them with the imagination.
Now guys, I don't know about you, but me and the squad are definitely on something. I mean, I'm already feeling creative and ready to solve some problems. Back to you, accompanies.
Guys, can you believe how well Amir and the squad did? And it was their first time doing this. What was amazing is how some preferred building to actually telling the story. Interesting. But someone who definitely enjoys telling stories is Nathi. Welcome back, Nathi. Let's jump straight into it with our next question from Zahir.
So, how have the Duma Says books helped spread awareness during COVID-19?
Well, during when the pandemic began, a lot of us were very anxious and very scared. So we wanted to remind kids and also adults that it was very important for us to listen to government, to listen to our scientists, to listen to our doctors, to wash our hands, wear our masks, and also to know that this virus is not going to be around forever.
Amir, you can go up next.
So, you have a lot of talents and they are very creative, but how do you use technology to bring them together?
I'm actually very fortunate in the industry that I'm in because I'm an illustrator and a graphic designer, and I use computers a lot. So even before the pandemic, I'd use my technologies, my smartphone. I'd use Facebook. I'd use WhatsApp. I'd use everything that we are all used to. So for me, the pandemic hasn't really changed how I use these technologies. In fact, it has given me the opportunity to put on my creative cap or my thinking cap and to use my skill to educate those that didn't have enough material on COVID-19.
Azra, you can ask the final question.
Sure. What do we have to study, or what advice do you have to give us to become an illustrator or author?
First of all, the most important thing that I would like to actually bring to attention is that you have to have the love for it first. You have to have the passion for it. And also, even though you may not have a lot of resources around you to sharpen your skill, the best thing to do is to start where you are. I used to draw every single day. I used to write every single day when I was 10, 11, 12. It's very, very recommended. And also just for writing, necessarily, you don't have to study it. You just have to have the passion to know how to write creatively, because writing isn't for everybody. But if you have it in you and you want to become a writer, then there's nothing that is going to get in your way.
Nathi, thank you so much for joining us today and also just sharing your journey and story with us. And to all of you at home, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know if you have any questions of your own on WhatsApp or Instagram. Welcome back, and if you've just tuned in, welcome to the squad. On today's show, we're learning all about what the A in STEAM stands for and why it's important.
Shanice, are you left brain or right brain?
But what do you mean, Hack? What are you on about?
If you're mostly analytical and methodical in your thinking, you're said to be left brain. If you tend to be more creative or artistic, you're thought to be right brain. This theory is based on the fact that the brain's two hemispheres function differently. By adding elements of art to STEM-based thinking, educators believe that students can use both sides of their brain, analytical and creative, to develop the best thinkers of tomorrow.
Okay, it all makes sense now. But if there's one place I definitely feel creative in, it's in the Tech Lab. What's up, Techno Squad? Welcome to the Tech Lab, where you know the fun in tech just keeps on coming. And today, you need to get your dancing shoes. Why?
Because we'll be using Makey to create a dance mat.
Cool, sounds awesome. So what do we need, Robin?
We'll need a large rubber mat, a sheet of tinfoil, a pair of scissors, a USB connector cable, some crocodile clips, some masking tape, and of course a Makey microcontroller, as well as a laptop with internet.
Awesome. So what will be our first step?
So our first step would firstly to make the arrows for our dance mat, of course. So we'll grab our sheet of tin foil and then cut it into 4 pieces, all right? And would you like to tell our viewers what they should do when they have scissors?
Always remember to ask an adult to help you.
Just like that. So what we'll do is we'll fold it so it's sort of in a thin strip, like that. Okay, let me go ahead and cut the last 2 pieces. Okay, now that we have our 4 strips of foil, next thing we're going to do is grab our rubber mat. So let's bring that a little closer. Great stuff. So now we have to arrange it into 4 arrows, one with forward facing, back facing, and then 2 for left and right. Alright, so now the next thing we're going to do is connect our crocodile clips. So let's get 2 crocodile clips of the same color. Awesome. So now we are ready to connect them to our arrows. So the next thing we have to do is connect them right at the edge of the arrows to make sure that our makey actually works. Since if you connect this to plastic, it's not exactly going to work, since that would be an insulator.
Makes sense.
Alright, now that we are all connected, we'll connect the last pieces to our makey controller, and we notice that there are also 4 arrows, so we'll just connect it accordingly.
Like that.
And then use one of the sides to clip into the ground bar. And we are, so to say, ready, except with one very important thing.
Power.
Power, yes. So you can plug it into the laptop. Are you ready to dance with your hands?
Ready.
But don't forget that you have to hold this onto one of it. Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Steady. Go.
Here we go.
There.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wait. Up. Oh. Down. Down. Side. Left. Up. Down.
And it's very important to stick with the beat. Yeah. So much fun. You're getting it. You're actually getting it. Wow. Yeah.
There you have it, Techno Squad. We had so much fun dancing with our jazz hands. Remember to go check out our socials at Techno Squad S3. In today's brain teaser, we asked you to solve equation 4. Let's take a look and see if you got it right.
From equation 1, 2 and 3, we got clues that the boots equal 20, the boy with the apple equals 10, and 2 apples equals 6. So 1 apple equals 3. So, what is the solution? 20 plus boy minus apple times 3 equals 20 plus 7 times 3 equals. Now, don't forget BODMAS. We have to do multiplication first, then addition. 21 plus 20 equals 41. I hope you got it right.
Heck, who would have thought a simple building block would be around for almost 100 years and would be sparking creativity in children?
And who would have thought that art and technology would combine to reach not only South African children, but children all around the world to teach them about the pandemic. But I do get excited when I think about all the possibilities and what our squad will do in the future.
Me too. Guys, we've come to the end of another amazing show. Head on over to our Facebook, IG and YouTube channel and remember to hit the like button. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you here, same time, same place next week. Bye.